It's your dream wedding, the perfect day, the perfect ceremony, unique, intimate, and all-inclusive. It's what you get without the headache of planning and the huge expense. At Tennessee Pop-Up Weddings, Tajay Events and More, and Felisa Buchanan as your personal wedding planner, bringing big city style to all of Tennessee. Dates and beautiful locations can be secured in Manchester, Nashville, Jackson, Chattanooga, Memphis, Knoxville, Murfreesboro, and other Tennessee locations. Relax. Everything is provided. The venue, champagne toast, the cake, minister, photographer, and an elegant ceremony setup. All you do is come dressed with a marriage license, rings, and up to 25 of invited guests. Tennessee Pop-Up Weddings, your special day made easy. Allow Tajay Events and More and Felisa Buchanan plan this amazing wedding. Dial 615-579-7477. Tajay Events and More. Tutu's Treasures in Shelbyville is not your ordinary boutique. It's truly unique with an array of fabulous items for anyone and any occasion. Seasonal gifts on target for the picky and the peculiar. A variety of wedding gift ideas. Mom's Day is just around the corner. Stop by and handpick something really special. Clothing, jewelry, accessories. It's all here at Tutu's Treasures of Shelbyville. The popular Ola Lily purses and handbags, Kavoo backpacks, they're trending. Customized with our custom embroidery. Tutu's Treasures of Shelbyville has you covered. For the little ones, stuffed animals, toys, decor, accessories, and more. You just won't believe the array of uniqueness all at one place. Tutu's Treasures. And don't forget about their signature products, lemonade, fruit tea, and other delicious treats. Tutu's Treasures of Shelbyville, 117 Hickory Drive, 931-685-9998. Follow us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Tutu's Treasures, TN. Hi there and welcome to another edition of Marilyn and Company. One of my favorite places, of course, is Newschannel 5, and of course the very wonderful Lelan Statom is our guest. Want to say welcome back, or can I say I'm welcomed here?
Yeah, welcome back. Good to have you back with us, and hope everything's going well with you these days.
Yep, doing well there in Shelbyville. Of course, we're all big fans there in Bedford County. We hear our town quite frequently, so thank you very much for that.
Hey, well, you're welcome. We try to reach out to everybody, and we know that there are a ton of folks who are watching us down in the Shelbyville area and down around Bedford County, so it is great to have all of those folks watching and to have you back with us today.
Exactly. We're going to jump right in there, Leland, because we have had very wicked weather. Of course, the 2014-2015 winter was just it was just terrible. So, and now we're going through a period of very hot temperatures. We're in the triple digits for heat index and such. There has to be something that's triggering, or it's some.
You know what?
There's a factor.
There is a factor, but at this point, I wouldn't read too much into it because, after all, we're in the middle of July. And so you get late July, early August, and usually you get into what is typically our hottest time of the year. So I wouldn't read too much into it at this point because the temperatures, they have been bad. We've had the heat index at times in triple digits, but on the other side of that, it's something that just happens every July. We've had a stretch of 90-degree weather here of late. So the more interesting thing probably was earlier in the month when we had the jet stream dipping down through the area, dipping down much more than it normally would. And so we have now in the month of July have had 9 tornadoes, shattering the old record that was set last year of 4, but we've had 9 tornadoes in Tennessee on just 3 days in the month of July, and then that does not include the couple of tornadoes that happened inside of our viewing area in southern Kentucky also on those days as well. That was the more unique thing that we saw about the month versus the hot weather that we've had here of late. It's it's been hot, but it's just one of those normal July things.
Exactly. And speaking of the tornadic weather patterns and situations, we're not actually in tornado season. Is that correct?
No. Tornado season for us is usually March, April, and May. That's our big severe weather season because that's the normal transition of winter weather into spring weather. And so as the winter weather is trying to hang on and spring air is trying to move in, you get that classic clash of the air masses. Now, there's a secondary season as well, too. October
Yes.
into November.
Right.
And again, it's kind of the reverse setup. But again, you've got summer weather trying to hang on,
Yeah.
colder weather of winter trying to move in. So there's that clash of air masses. So those are our two general severe weather seasons here.
Yeah.
However, I tell folks, you know, you can't discount tornadoes in Tennessee any time of the year because there has been a tornado recorded in our state in every month of the year.
Wow.
And so if we take anything from the July tornadoes of this year, the good thing is they were all either, most were EF zeros. One in Cookeville, Putnam County was an EF1.
Yes.
So they were
Yes.
all on the low end of the scale, but the
Yep.
big takeaway is that there were no fatalities in any of them.
What a blessing.
Yes,
yeah, what
definitely.
a blessing. But all over the country, there are different types of things going on that's a little bit unusual. So this has to be coming from somewhere. What are you seeing that is just really causing this uproar and just a different situation when it comes to weather everywhere?
All right, one of the things that we'll be watching now and over the next couple of weeks is El Nino.
Okay.
All right, El
Heard
Nino.
that before.
Yeah, and basically it's one of those things that you think of something that is happening far away and it can be having an impact on us, but it can impact our area. And the reason sometimes people think that is that El Nino is something that is off of the coast of South America. And so usually what we notice is the waters there in the equatorial region are a little warmer than they should be. And so even though that's happening way out in the Pacific, that can have an impact on weather patterns across the United States. And so you get El Nino,
Yeah.
that's when the waters are warmer than they should be, and then you get La Nina, which is when the waters are colder than they should be. So one of the things that we'll be keeping an eye out on over the next couple of weeks is this El Nino going to continue to strengthen? Some are saying it could be as strong as the one in 1997, which brought a lot of heavy rain and flooding to the California area. They need rain. They don't
do.
need that much.
They really do. Yeah.
But they need rain. So that's one of the things that we'll be watching in the coming months to see if this El Nino is going to continue to strengthen, and if so, how will it impact the country? And then for our area, it could mean part of the state, especially from, let's say, part of Middle Tennessee and Eastern Tennessee, being maybe a little wetter than it normally would be in a typical winter season.
Okay. We're going to take a very quick break, come back with more. Meteorologist Lelan Statom, News Channel 5 is our location today. Back with more with Lelan right after this. Stay with us. Tutu's Treasures in Shelbyville is not your ordinary boutique. It's truly unique with an array of fabulous items for anyone and any occasion. Seasonal gifts on target for the picky and the peculiar. A variety of wedding gift ideas. Mom's Day is just around the corner. Stop by and handpick something really special. Clothing, jewelry, accessories. It's all here at Tutu's Treasures of Shelbyville. The popular Ola Lily purses and handbags, Kavoo backpacks, they're trending. Customized with our custom embroidery. Tutu's Treasures of Shelbyville has you covered. For the little ones, stuffed animals, toys, decor, accessories, and more. You just won't believe the array of uniqueness all at one place. Tutu's Treasures. And don't forget about their signature products, lemonade, fruit tea, and other delicious treats. Tutu's Treasures of Shelbyville, 117 Hickory Drive, 931-685-9998. Follow us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Tutu's Treasures, TN.
Our daughter loves baseball, and we tried to get her on some teams, but she just never felt right about it. We thought she would just have to settle for being a fan, until Rotary stepped in, and they built this special field. When these kids get to play ball, they're so excited, and they just get to feel like regular kids. They took an idea of just letting the kids play baseball and made it fit these kids rather than trying to make the kids fit the field.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
We're back here on Marilyn and Company. The one and only meteorologist Lelan Statom, News Channel 5 is our guest. We are just fortunate to be here. It's been a while, but it's kind of feels the same, Lelan. You probably have more models, more toys to get used to.
Yeah, you know, we got to the toys here, and we've been blessed because our company believes in weather, and I think we've talked about this in the past. The number one reason people watch news is for the weather. Now, they watch for many different reasons, but the number one reason that they watch is for the weather. And so we want to make sure that we're providing them with that information information. We recently went through a merger with our old company of Journal Communications, merging with EW Scripps, and EW Scripps now also has that commitment to knowing that folks want weather information, and so they continue to provide us with the toys that we need to make sure that we're keeping people safe in a storm.
Exactly. Now, pretty much go into the tornado season. I know that you said primarily it's the spring, maybe a little bit of the fall and that type of thing, kind of things to watch out for, you know, and that type of thing. What are you guys really seeing? What type of fall or what type of tornado season are you seeing? Can you foresee it in the future?
You know, it's still too early at this point to say, all right, look for an active weather season, especially with how quiet things have been here of late. And the other thing, too, is we'll continue to see how El Nino plays out. If it strengthens, then that may also play a little bit of a role. It's hard to say, okay, that this tornado or this tornado was a result of El Nino. You can maybe later down the line go back and look at the season and say, you know what, it was more active or it was less active. What's the relationship to that of El Nino? So it's hard to say at this particular point, but we'll continue to kind of keep an eye on things for that late summer, late fall, early winter setup, October into November.
Exactly. You have other situations that kind of assist you with the predictions and that type of thing, the National Weather Service and other services of that nature? Yeah,
there's a great partnership. Now, when we give you a forecast here from the station, it's our forecast, all right? So we've got a meteorologist on every newscast, and so we are all predicting the weather information based on the models that we see. Now, the common thread in that is that the models that we're looking at are the same ones that they're looking at from the National Weather Service and from a host of different other companies out there. And people say, well, if you're looking at the same models, then why is it that sometimes the Weather Service says this, you say this, or Station A says this, and you say this? It's not one computer model. It's a host of computer models that we are looking at. And also, you know, if the computer models are all the same, it's easy. If all the computer models are saying sunny and 80, I'm going to tell you sunny and 80. But if one is going rain and 70 and the other one is going sunny and 80, then, you know, you've got to look at the differences there, look and see which one has had a better track record maybe over the last couple of days, or which one has had a better track record in a particular weather setup. And so you go back and you use things like that. And so that's where some of the differences will come in. When weather person A on Station A is leaning toward this model, you may have the Weather Service or a weather person on a different station who may lean toward a different model. And so that's where you can sometimes have differences in what the weather forecast happens to be, or there are so many people who have got weather information on their phone and on their app and everything. And so the difference, again, that's just a straight weather computer model. The weather app that you use, they're basing it pretty much on one model.
That's right.
Whereas here at the station, because you've got human beings predicting the weather, we may lean on one model or we may blend that information. And it's when that blend is happening that you're not getting from the weather app. Now, the apps are great. I got it on my phone. I have the Newschannel 5 app on my phone and several other apps that I use on my phone. So they're fantastic to have at your fingertips. But again, that's all straight computer data there. Whereas the information you get from us is a human kind of interpreting the blend that may happen, or also the lay of the land, the topography of the land that can sometimes have an impact on our forecast.
Very good. What is this about global warming? What are your thoughts on this?
It's happening.
It's happening.
All right.
Okay.
Global warming is happening. Now, you've got some folks who will tell you otherwise, or some folks who say, yeah, it's happening, but it's not man-made. I'm of the belief that, you know, with everything that man is doing and what we have added to our environment and to the atmosphere over the last several decades, there has to be some impact. Now, you can go in and you can debate how much of an impact there is, and there's still some debate among that in the science community, but I am a true believer that global warming is happening, and that there is a part that humans are doing that has played a role in that.
Wow. Interesting. Just kind of never know.
Yeah.
Part of a person says, well, I'm not going to believe in this, but it really is. It's coming.
If you look at the data, if you go look at what's happening with the ice glaciers up in the North Pole area, and you look at the lay of that land and how much those glaciers are there versus 10 years ago versus 15 years ago, then you definitely have to see that there's warming there, or there would be much more ice up that way. And so the reason for that is global warming, because things are warmer up there than they normally have been. Now there is an ebb and flow in that all the time, but if you go back and look at the averages over the last 20-30 years and compare then to now, there is a difference, and so global warming is having an impact on that.
Very good. Let's fast forward. Of course, the holiday season is just around the corner. I mean, we're less than 6 months away for the Christmas season. And
Christmas in July. As a matter of fact, we had a segment on Talk of the Town yesterday about Christmas in July.
And very good too. Thank you. But it's always where we're just not on target to get that snow on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning and that type of thing. But we're just a little bit off target. But it seems like we're getting better. We're getting closer to getting it right there on Christmas morning.
If you look at averages, okay, and again, one of the things you have to do in weather is look at average. And for us, weather averages are 30 years. Now, we got record data going back to the 1870s, but when we tell you the average high for today is 89 degrees, that's based on the last 30 years of record keeping. So if you look on weather averages, our average for snow in here on Christmas Day isn't great. It's 10% or less. So basically what that means is, in an average period, you get one chance at a white Christmas on and once in a decade. Yes, is basically what that comes down to.
Well, we're going to evolve there. We'll get it. We'll get it.
And if you go back and you look at the last 20 years or so, we've probably been right on target with that, with getting a little bit of snow in here on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. It's probably going right now on that 10% average.
Oh, wow. Okay, very good. We're going to take another quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to wrap things up. Leland, very busy. We're going to talk about the other cap that he wears, of course, co-hostess Talk of the Town. We'll talk about that in just a bit. A little bit of the family life and that type of thing. We'll wrap it up with meteorologist Lelan Statom, News Channel 5, right after this.
Hello, my name is Rhonda Saylor. I'm one of the many faces connected with Contact Lifeline of the Highland Rim. For the last 30 years, we've been providing vital services to residents of Bedford, Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. Our reassurance program is critical to many elderly and shut-ins throughout the area who are struggling to live alone in their own home. Our volunteers contact these residents daily to provide support in a number of areas. We're so much more than just suicide prevention. We're a helping hand to a multitude of our friends and neighbors, always there 24/7, ready to listen, care, and help.
Tutu's Treasures in Shelbyville is not your ordinary boutique. It's truly unique, with an array of fabulous items for anyone and any occasion. Seasonal gifts on target for the picky and the peculiar. A variety of wedding gift ideas. Mom's Day is just around the corner. Stop by and handpick something really special. Clothing, jewelry, accessories. It's all here at Tutu's Treasures of Shelbyville. The popular Ola Lily purses and handbags, Kavoo backpacks, they're trending. Customized with our custom embroidery. Tutu's Treasures of Shelbyville has you covered. For the little ones, stuffed animals, toys, decor, accessories, and more. You just won't believe the array of uniqueness all at one place. Tutu's Treasures. And don't forget about their signature products, lemonade, fruit tea, and other delicious treats. Tutu's Treasures of Shelbyville, 117 Hickory Drive, 931-685-9998. Follow us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Tutu's Treasures, TN. We're back here on Marilyn and Company, Meteorologist News Channel 5. Lelan Statom is our guest today. We are just on the set. It's always exciting to be right here. I'm going to sit here for the rest of the afternoon.
All right, guys, come on. So we'll see what we got cooking on Talk of the Town. But we always love it when you're up here, and it's always great to be able to talk to the folks down in Bedford County and Shelbyville.
Thank you very much. We were just speaking just before the break, the fact that you turn your cap for you co-host as Talk of the Town.
Yes.
And you've been doing that for quite a while.
Yeah, been co-host of the show now for nearly 10 years.
Wow, congratulations.
And thank you. I've been blessed with that. And, into the future, my primary role here is still doing weather and being a meteorologist, but one of the great things about Talk of the Town is it gives me a chance to wear a different hat.
Yeah.
It also gives me a chance to learn a few things about cooking. You know, we've got great recipes, and a few of those I'll go home and try. But the other thing too is, because of the success of the show long before I got here, the show now, I believe this year was the 34th anniversary of the show.
Wow.
So it's one of the longest running, if not the longest running, but one of the longest running and most successful local talk shows, not only in Tennessee, but in the entire country. So I am blessed to be able to come in and be a part of a show that was already established when I got here. But one of the great things, because of that history, then the show is able to pull in some A-list talent from time to time. Now,
yes, you do.
Talent is great every day because people want to see what their friends and neighbors are doing.
Right.
But it's cool when we're able to get stars in. You know, Julie Andrews was on the show once. Patty LaBelle has been on the show. And just the other day, there was the, I think the name of this one was the Brown Comedy Tour. So DJ Hughley, George Lopez, and Eddie Griffin were in. They were all on together. I was off that day, and boy, they gave Meryl a fit. But I was off that day. But again, because of the success of the show and the history of the show, then from time to time we're able to pull in people like that other shows in this area can't do.
Well, very good. Of course, Meryl Rose is a wonderful person.
Yeah.
And you guys have great chemistry, so that really matters a lot.
That definitely matters a lot, because you've got to be friends off camera to have that chemistry on camera.
That's right.
And you know, some folks try to fake it, and while you can fake it every now and then, eventually it comes out. And so, you know, Meryl and I, it's kind of great being a part of the show with her now, but the cool thing is, when I started at the station, you know, she was one of the two co-anchors when I started on the weekend morning news.
That is correct.
Because she and Harry Chapman were the original anchors for News Channel 5 This Morning weekends. When I came in, the show was already on the air for about a month or so, but I was the first original, I guess they had temporary people as weather people on the show, but I was the first permanent weather anchor of that show.
Wow.
So we had time together there, and so it's kind of cool being able to work with her now on a daily basis.
Very good, very good. Of course, I love what you're doing with the kids every morning. The little assistants that you have, that type of thing. You solicit for that. They are really participating. I think it's a great thing.
It has been, I thought it would be a success, but I was blown away with the number of folks that send pictures in, but they want to see their baby on TV. And you know, it got to the point where we were doing one a day originally. We had so many that we now do 2 a day, and just change things up where we would use anybody, but now we prefer the children to be 2 years and up. But it's a way for the children, because there are a lot of children who watch in the morning. Now there are others who are watching Cartoon Channel, Disney Channel, and all of that. But there are some, because mama's watching the news and wanting to know what's happening, then they're watching it. And it's a way to have them to be a part of the show. So I had an email this week from a lady who said, yeah, my baby was on the show, and she now thinks that she's a superstar.
Absolutely.
And so it's another way to provide information, but it's also another way to provide just information to the folks, because they see their children on TV, but then they're also getting information on how to dress their children for the day.
Exactly.
And so it's a way to help folks plan, another way, another element to help people plan for the day.
Well, that's another great thing that you're doing here at News Channel 5.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to do it, it's just you can send the pictures in, send an email to weatherkids@newschannel5.com. It's got to be a straight shot of the face. They can't be wearing a cap. They can't have the side of the face cut off. They can't have their face against their hand. It's got to be a straight shot of the face, head, hands. We got to see everything. And then I put the images on the air, but I got a great guy, Nathan Wilburn, who's back in our graphics department. He's the one who's actually going through the process of cutting those children out and dressing them every day. So I get the glory for it, but it's actually Nathan Wilburn back in our graphics department who is the guy who's putting those together for us every day.
Great job for both of you. Want to say hello to, of course, Miss Yolanda, your
Yes.
wonderful wife. How things going?
Yeah, my
School
wife,
teacher.
Dr. Yolanda Statom, doing well. Last year she was blessed to get a job as an assistant principal in the Metro Nashville school system.
Congratulations to her.
So she is now getting ready for year 2. And I say getting ready, she's already at work for year 2, because in Nashville, and many other systems are doing this now, where the principals are year-round and assistants are 11 months out of the year. So actually, my wife went back to school last week, and so they're ahead, and they're using this time for workshops and to make sure that everybody is kind of on the same page and everything. But I thank you for asking. But my wife, Dr. Lelan Statom, doing well. The kids are doing well.
Yes.
Kayla is now getting ready for her third year at UT. And
oh my.
for those who remember Taylor when he was born and was spent that first month in the hospital as a preemie, just became a teenager and now a rising 8th grader.
Alrighty. Wow. All too fast.
All too fast, yeah. So there's extra gray hair up here these days.
He looks great.
Yeah. Miss Clairol helps keep it.
Oh my.
Actually, I need a little touch up right there, but Miss Clairol hides the gray these days.
Doing well. So good to see you. Something I'm going to throw at you really quick.
Okay.
Of course, seeing what you do every day, we watch you and we're just kind of just really excited to see what you're doing. For those individuals who are inspiring maybe to actually do what you do as a meteorologist, you make it seem so easy. Is it that easy?
You know, it's not that easy, but that's for the people who are able to become successful in this deal. You've got to make it seem easy, but there's a lot of prep that goes into it, and people think, well, I can just get up there and tell the weather and everything. You've got to be able to take something that's complicated and explain it in a way that people can understand. You know, there's so much that goes into the weather and the atmosphere and the science of weather, and people don't think of it like this, but meteorologists are scientists. It's a form of science, and meteorologists are scientists. So as the station scientists, whether it's me, Ron, Howes, Charlie, and Niece or Kelly Cox, we have to take things that are complicated and break it down because, yeah, you know, well, it's a scientific world when you or your mama who's over here, we always love it when your mama comes down with you. When they're watching in the morning, they don't care about the science aspect of it. They don't care about the anti-cyclone that's over their house or a cyclonic system that's moving in. They just want to know, is it going to rain on my head when I go to Kroger today or when I go down to the Walmart? And so you just have to be able to take information like that and be able to communicate it to folks and relate it to them. And that's one of the biggest things, is being able to relate information in a way that people can understand and relate it in a way that they'll want to come back the next day and watch, because we are asking people to invite us into their home. And that, you know, that TV may be in the bedroom, it may be in the kitchen. So we may be asking folks to invite us to breakfast every day, and you will only invite people to breakfast that you care about.
That's right.
And so you've got to be able to relay that information daily.
Absolutely. Very well put. Yes, and a beautiful lineup of everyone.
Yes.
So love News Channel 5.
Well, we appreciate that. We love everybody down there on Walking Horse Country and down in Shelbyville, so we appreciate that greatly.
Leland, thank you for your time.
Hey, you're welcome very much. Thank you. Always great to see you too.
Thank you so much. We're on the set here at News Channel 5. Lelan Statom, meteorologist here. Always great to see him. That's another edition of Marilyn and Company. Thank you so much for watching.
Because of them, 5 million people do not have polio. Because of them, families will not have to beg for a meal tonight. Because of them, thousands of high schoolers will never be known as dropouts. They are the 1.2 million members of Rotary, everyday people working together to push hope forward. Rotary, humanity in motion.